Hi, my name is Tom Warner. I'm a librarian in the Best and Next department of the Enoch Pratt Free Library, here with a viewer's advisory for free movies you can stream through Canopy using your library card. Today I'm recommending 3 films by Park Chan-wook, the Korean director best known for his Vengeance trilogy. While he may not have Parasite director Bong Joon-ho's Oscar, Park Chan-wook is arguably South Korea's most famous film director, part of a Korean new wave of directors whose ranks include not only Bong Joon-ho, but also Kim Ji-hoon, Hong Sang-soo, Lee Chang-dong, and Kim Ki-duk, that emerged in the late 90s as a reaction to the democratization and globalization of filmmaking in South Korea, which had previously been subject to government censorship and restrictions. Park is best known nationally and internationally for his 2002 to 2005 so-called Vengeance trilogy, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and Lady Vengeance, films that helped bring Korean cinema to the world stage even as they established Park as a fearless investigator of the violence in people's hearts. Quentin Tarantino counts him as one of his favorite directors, and Spike Lee so admired Old Boy, Park's international breakout hit, that he remade it in 2013. These 3 films give proof to Bong Joon-ho's promise that once you overcome the 1-inch-tall barrier of subtitles, you will be introduced to so many more amazing films. After making Joint Security Area in 2000, a smash hit that was South Korea's highest-grossing film ever at that time, Park Chan-wook had carte blanche to make his next film, and he chose to make this stylish, cynical, and brutally violent film about the futility of retribution. It tells a story about 2 men from opposite ends of the class system whose lives collide in violence and blood. Mr. Vengeance at first focuses on Ryu, played by Ha Kyun-shin, a deaf-mute with a shock of dyed green hair. Ryu lives with his critically ill older sister, played by Ji-eum Lim, of director Kim Joo-woon's horror film A Tale of Two Sisters, which is also available to stream through Canopy, who desperately needs a kidney transplant. Ryu tries and wretchedly fails to provide this through the black market. Then, when an organ becomes legitimately available at prohibitive cost, Ryu and his nitwit anarchist girlfriend, the delightful Doona Bae, decide to kidnap the young daughter of factory owner Park Dong-jin, played by Kang Ho-song, last seen in Bong Joon-ho's Parasite, and who recently laid him off, for a large ransom. But unforeseen tragedies turn an innocent con into a merciless quest for vengeance by the aggrieved factory owner, and chaos reigns supreme when a simple plan breaks down and out of control, with disastrous results for all parties concerned. Like a Shakespeare tragedy, regardless of our good intentions, the players in this film are ultimately powerless at the hands of fate, of forces beyond their control. Park's Old Boy, the second in the Vengeance trilogy, is based on the Japanese manga of the same name from the late 90s, written by Garon Shuchiya and illustrated by Nobuyuki Minagishi. The film follows the story of Oh Dai-soo, played by Min-sik Choi, an ordinary Seoul businessman with a wife and young daughter who, after a drunken night on the town, is locked up in a strange private prison resembling a hotel room for 15 years without knowing the identity of his captor nor his captor's motives. When he is finally released, Dai-soo finds himself still trapped in a web of conspiracy and violence. His own quest for vengeance becomes tied in with a romance when he falls in love with an attractive young sushi chef. While he's eating in a Japanese restaurant, his cell phone rings and a voice dares him to figure out why he was imprisoned. Incidentally, you will never order octopus again after seeing this sushi scene. The film received praise for its action sequences, most notably the single-shot fight sequence where Oh Dai-soo single-handedly defeats about 30 thugs using a hammer as a weapon to unyieldingly plow through them. I think of this scene every time I spot a hammer in a hardware store, and it makes me have chills. The film won the Grand Prix at the 2004 Cannes Film Festival and high praise from the president of the jury, director Quentin Tarantino. Roger Ebert stated that Old Boy is a powerful film not because of what it depicts, but because of the depths of the human heart which it strips bare. Finally, in Lady Vengeance, after being wrongfully convicted of kidnapping and murdering a young child, a beautiful young woman, Young A. Lee, is imprisoned for 13 years and forced to give up her own daughter. While in prison, she gains the respect and loyalty of her fellow cellmates, all the while plotting her vendetta on the man responsible, Old Boy's Min Chick Choi again. Upon her release, she sets in motion an elaborate plan of retribution. But what she discovers is a truth so horrifying, even revenge doesn't seem punishment enough. The late Korean dictator Kim Jong-il was allegedly a fan of Lady Vengeance star Young A. Lee, who had previously starred in Park Chan-wook's JSA, Joint Security Area, and the hugely popular Korean TV historical soap opera Daijang Jeom. Lady Vengeance won a Little Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival that year. In an interview reassessing his films, Park Chan-wook explained that films like his Vengeance trilogy stress morality with guilty consciences as the core subject matter. The constantly recurring theme is the guilty conscience, because they are always conscious of and obsessed with their wrongdoings, which are committed because they are inherently unavoidable in life. My characters are fundamentally good people. The fact that people have to resort to another type of violence in order to subjugate their initial guilty consciences is the most basic quality of tragedy characteristic in my movies thus far. I believe you will find these 3 films a guilt-free guilty pleasure, one made possible by Canopy, using your library card.